Okay, welcome back. IOL Chemicals has reported a good set of first quarter earnings. I mean, the stock has been absolutely on a tear, as I just described before we took the break. Mr. Vijay Garg is Joint Managing Director of the company, is joining us to take some questions on the earnings and what they're seeing right now. Mr. Garg, thanks very much. Great to have you with us here. Appreciate your time. Could you talk to us a little bit about what you saw in the product categories that you are in, sir? Have we seen prices, what you're able to charge and supply your clients at, prices going up, prices firming up? What has there been shortage for you from the back end in terms of supplies and what you pick from China? Just a little bit of background would help.
Overall we are doing good. Overall, if you see with the start of lockdown, April month was the little bit slow. By mid of April, we were able to start. As we are basically into two segments. One is chemical and pharma. As far as our pharma is concerned, pharma is picking up very good. We are least dependent on you can say overseas supplies or Chinese supplies. So as far as our pharma division is concerned, we are not impacted much. But as far as the demand is concerned, overall demand is increasing because of our major product ibuprofen. So ibuprofen worldwide because of flu is on increasing side. Yes, we have some demand loss, or you can say because of lockdown we have some you can say 15 days break in our chemical sections. But now overall it's picking up. Overall, we are confident this year we will be able to achieve the target of you can say 20 to 25% growth. So overall, as a company also, we will be able to meet the targets.
Okay, 20 to 20%, 25% growth at the top line, I'm assuming you're saying. Mr. Garg, some more clarity on ibuprofen. How is pricing moving? Because last time you did tell us that, you know, prices have been on the upswing. If you could give us some sense of the appreciation?
Actually, if we see the last year, we achieved in terms of absolute number around $15 as pricing. But this year, because of shortage in the market or the demand is increasing in the market, so international market is moving up, where we are selling around 45% of our ibuprofen. So absolute number is we are able to achieve $18 in our overseas market sales in ibuprofen.
Okay, got that. Let me move to a different product line then, metformin, for which you're adding capacity as well. How much does metformin right now contribute to your total sales pie, and how will that go up as you increase capacity? And you know, what's the kind of margin you're hoping to get here?
See, metformin, if you see in our new product segment, overall it contributes around 5% as of now, because our new products are very new in our portfolio. So with the existing capacities which are completely sold out, overall in overall terms we are able to achieve 5%, which we are going to increase by 10%. Like this year from the new products we have done around 150 crores in top line, and next year current year we are planning around you can say 400 crores. With this increase in metformin capacity from 4,000 tons to 11,200 tons, we are confident to achieve additional you can say top line of 150 crores in metformin.
New products including metformin. Final question then, what about the China angle, Mr. Garg? What percentage of the intermediaries are you still importing from China? Is there an issue there? Because in between we heard of a lot of congestion at the ports, more checks, etc. So how are you structuring your supply chain?
As far as China is concerned, like, see, 90% of our total top line comes from ethyl acetate and ibuprofen. So ibuprofen contributes around 60%. So in ibuprofen, we are least dependent on China. Only one product, sodium metal, comes from China, which is just 2% or 3% of our total raw material consumption. So as far as sodium metal is concerned, we are generally keeping 5 to 6 months inventories for sodium metal in our stocks. In our chemical section also, we are little bit dependent on China, but supplies from you can say Europe, Middle East, and US is there. So we are not much dependent. Yes, for new products we are like metformin, we are dependent on China, where we are importing around 30 to 40% or 35% of our raw materials from China. But now, if you see, overall scenario is seems okay. So no congestion, all materials are coming in time. So things are getting on normal track.
Okay, that's good to know. So then my final question, slightly related one. I mean, we know the government is very focused on Atmanirbhar. Have you had a chance to study this PLI scheme? And does it sound exciting enough for you to consider fresh investment as far as APIs go?
This is a very exciting, very good scheme which Government of India has launched. Around 53 products they have covered in this. Many products are in fermentation as well as in chemical synthesis. Our R&D is already working on 4 to 5 products in which are covered in PLI. So we are confident that we will be able to launch 2 to 3 products out of PLI schemes, and within the stipulated time of application, we will apply in due course of time. And as far as the scheme is concerned, this is a very good scheme, very good initiative taken by Government of India to become Atmanirbhar in pharma sector as well.
Okay, good to hear that, sir. I mean, thanks very much for your time, Mr. Garg. Appreciate you joining in and answering some of our questions patiently. Thank you indeed, and good luck. It's one of the big winners in the pharmaceutical space. I mean,